We got work to do.
How do we usually start these?
I don't remember.
Do we? I don't know. I forgot.
Maybe like that. We're already recording, right? We can just.
All right. I mean, welcome to another Mailbag Minisode. I'm
Welcome.
Kristen.
I'm Christine. And we're winging it.
Yeah. We have bad memories. Well, I have a worse memory, as I've mentioned.
And it was kind of a long week. We both went to bed very early last night.
Oh, yeah. I've been rewatching VH1's I Love the 70s. I love
cool.
the 80s. It's been a lot of fun. But I knocked out on it yesterday. Just exhausted. Ugh.
I stuffed myself full of pizza and then got cranky because I was tired and took a shower and went to bed.
And I had pizza as well. And it was, yeah.
We were so like out of it and just on the same wavelength. Didn't find out until today that we both like ordered pizza and passed the fuck out.
We're basically becoming the same person. I mean, we almost have the same name.
Tired people. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Okay, but we have a bunch of Mailbag Minisodes for you today. We've just been accumulating so many, and for good reason, because as we mentioned in the last episode, we did go to the Dallas convention. By the time that this comes out, we would have already gone.
But when we're recording, it's happening next weekend. So, yeah.
But wanted to give us a little bit of room there so that we can enjoy the convention, not have to worry about, putting out more episodes. But I know that I didn't mention it at the end of the last episode, that this episode would be squeezed in between the last episode, Death Takes a Holiday, and never mind, because we still have Death Takes a Holiday and On the Head of a Pin. So that one's going to come out next week.
Yes.
As of this coming out.
That was really hard.
Oh, God. Yeah. No.
You're right, though. We're good. Yeah.
Great.
Okay, so we wanted to start getting into these?
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you, everyone who wrote in. We asked you to, and you did. So thank you for giving us all of your thoughts. We have a lot of really great thoughts from everybody. We hear from Stacy a lot, which is great. We always love your perspective on everything, and you're very experienced in the supernatural fandom. So we mentioned we were going to the convention, and she wrote in with some tips. Thank you very much for that. Really appreciate it. We're going to take you up on some of that for sure. Mm-hmm. And just wanted to mention this part from that email. She said, "I'm thrilled you added Crazy Love to the end of the podcast. Just have to ask, what did you think? I figured it's not exactly your kind of music, but the damn song is so catchy. It ends up stuck in my head all day. The other one I adore by Jensen is Simple Man, which you can find on YouTube as well."
I don't think I've heard Simple Man yet.
I haven't either. I'm going to listen to that.
Yeah. Because he has such a great voice.
Yes. So you're correct. It's not my type of music. That's how I feel about that. But that doesn't mean, I don't think it's bad at all. It's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah, I think Christine, you're a little bit closer on the spectrum to that type of music than I am.
Yeah, that's probably true. Although I'm all over the spectrum. It just depends.
But beautiful voice, Jensen. Beautiful voice. And Jason.
Yes. So we'll definitely look that up and let you know what we think about Simple Man. We'll get back to you.
Mm-hmm. So this other one is from Stacy, and she wanted to write in because she had an amazing time at the convention, the ChiCon convention, up in Chicago, and she wanted to brag that her trivia team won second place. So don't you fucking mess with Stacy when it comes to trivia because she's awesome at it.
Clearly a boss.
Right. And she also sent us these really adorable pictures that she took with uh Jensen and Jared and Misha, and
They're
they're
so
amazing.
cute. I love them.
I know. We did have a question, Stacy, on what Jensen is wearing.
In the first picture where he's got this like really awesome like grandpa sweater that's very hipster that also has the pattern of a Native American blanket. It's
Yes.
really, really good.
It's very a very interesting choice for him. And then but I think my favorite one is the one where she's hugging Jared. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, because it's so precious.
I need that to be my life.
How do we get in between there? Can it be like a sandwich?
Yeah. A sandwich of love. Yes. Oh my god.
Yeah,
But these
that's
are
good
really
stuff.
awesome. Thank you, Stacy, for sending those in.
Yeah, absolutely. Someday we'll get our pictures. We'll see.
Yeah, probably not at this one. I think I don't know. I'm not ready.
No,
First
yeah.
off.
Yeah, we waited until really late to like make any kind of decision about it, so it kind of snuck up on us. So, it's going to be a little bare bones, but maybe another year we could plan for it better.
But I mean, I need to emotionally prepare for that. Like
Oh, that kind of preparation.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Because also, I mean, how would you want to pose?
I
And
mean, I think I would just want to be in a Jared and Jensen sandwich. I
I think
have,
that would be the best thing, right?
but also just thinking about that, like I start like sweating a little bit. So,
No, I know. I would probably start crying immediately. Like,
can't handle it.
no, yeah.
Well, yeah. So we'll think about that. Our next email is from Melissa. Thanks for like coming on board, Melissa. By the way, like I know you just started listening to us pretty recently, but we're just so like happy that you like our podcast. It's been good. So she says, "Thank you for saying this." By the way, she gave me a huge congratulations on my engagement, which is so sweet and very touching. So thank you. Um, and I'm still really excited about it, guys. We got save the dates in. So we're gonna be sending those out soon. It's feeling
Yay.
real.
I hope I get one.
You're not invited.
Keeping the professional relationship separate.
Boundaries.
Obviously.
Boundaries.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So Melissa also says that she just got married this past October and it was a dream come true. And she had an Impala as their limo. And she sent us this awesome fucking picture of them in the back seat of an Impala and looking through it's like looking through the window from the outside of the car and they're kissing and it's so sweet and cool. I love it.
It's beautiful. Yeah. And it's like in black and white. So it just looks like even like picturesque, even more picturesque.
So classy.
It's so cute. Mm-hmm.
So congratulations on your recent marriage as well. It's really exciting. And yeah, we've got some more from Melissa too.
Oh yeah. So well, so she just started listening but she was so excited. She kind of, I guess she knew that we were coming up on I Know What You Did Last Summer in Heaven and Hell. So she sent us this question even though she wasn't caught up. And she says, we have gotten a couple of steamy love scenes throughout the seasons. So my question for you is, who does it better, Sam or Dean?
Excellent question.
Excellent question, Melissa. We have the answer to this question. Who does sex better?
Yeah, we do have the answer. Ours is
clearly,
probably the same, honestly.
Yeah. Sam. I mean, which is so odd because you would think that Dean is like getting down and well, we've seen him get down and dirty, right?
Yeah.
With
And he's such a
Sam out
ladies'
in the
man.
car.
Like, that's part of his, like, his
He's
person.
rocked the trailer in Hollywood Babylon, right? But damn, Sam. Like
yeah. Exactly. Damn.
Yeah. And especially now that we just saw Sex and Violence, like he oh gee.
Yeah,
Christine got a little excited.
I like to talk with my hands and I just like punched my microphone.
But yeah, in Sex and Violence he was as passionate as ever and it's very exciting.
It is. It is very exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, he's just so good. I don't know. Yeah.
It's funny because my husband just recently caught up to the podcast and he was like, "You need to calm down. Like you're a little, you're very thirsty for Sam." And I'm like, "I'm sorry, I can't help it."
You
like,
and how many other people?
I mean, I warned everyone that season 4 was going to be like this. I'm sure
you did. That's true. You warned me.
The thirst
He's like
will
peak
drop.
Sam.
Yeah.
I totally get it though, because this was when my thirst for Sam kicked in. Like,
yeah.
You know, I've been a Dean girl this whole time. And then we hit season 4 and I was like, fuck, somebody had a glow up and I can't ignore
really
it.
did. Yeah. No.
It's too much. So yeah, there's your answer. We heard from Genevieve. And she had some really great thoughts. She said, I had to drop in and say I loved the episode for Heaven and Hell. It's one of my favorite episodes as a diehard Dean girl myself, and so much is revealed. I also love Dean and Anna. I totally forgot that this episode is the one with Sam and Ruby. Where that happens back to back. And admittedly missed the whole angel and demon dichotomy that is set up between Sam and Dean.
Me too, Genevieve. Me too.
Y'all are welcome. I'm just kidding. So, I'm not that douchey. Okay, so, and then she says, as far as which sex scene is hotter, I think I have to agree that it's Sam and Ruby, just for the way he's able to pick her up so easily. I mean, damn. Yes, please. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, girl.
Exactly what we're saying.
Yeah, it's too good. She says the one between Dean and Anna, while definitely still hot, is more tender and just makes it hurt more when Dean gives her up to Cass and Uriel. Absolutely. Yeah, that hurt. Speaking of which, my absolute favorite thing about Anna is how gentle and soft she is with Dean. No one is ever really that gentle with him, and he honestly fucking needs it. He does need that. Like, they all kind of they're kind of sassy and flirty and give him some tough love, and they're not really like, yeah.
Yeah, because he acts like that's what he wants in return because he's the same way, but it's no.
Yeah.
He needs a mommy, like wife,
a
you know?
Bit of a mommy, yeah. That's what I was going to say a second ago, but I was like, I don't know. But yeah. She says, I love that she wants to absolve him of his guilt because Dean spends like 99% of his life feeling guilty, sometimes for things that aren't even his fault, and it hurts me. There's a small moment after she tells him that she knows what he did in hell where she reaches for him and he kind of pulls back for a second, like he simply can't imagine that anyone would want to touch him that softly after finding that out. And it's almost as heartbreaking as how clearly distraught he is over giving Anna up. Yeah, I could see that. She says, because as you pointed out, he was willing to sacrifice himself for her. He's always willing to be the martyr because he believes other people's lives are worth more than his own. As Cass pointed out, he doesn't think he deserves to be saved. Dean just does not need more reasons to hate himself, and Anna knows this, and she forgives him. And that sound you hear is my heart cracking into tiny pieces over my good sweet boy, Dean Winchester.
Oh.
I heard it.
Yeah.
And she says, I'm sure you'll hear from me again. Great. Please write in some more. Let us know what you think about everything. But
I know.
Yeah, great thoughts. I agree completely.
Yeah, Dean needs some therapy immediately.
From Anna.
From Anna or from anybody. I mean, they also Sam and Dean just need family therapy.
Yeah, I mean probably a licensed therapist. I think that's their best bet.
Yeah. So this next one is from Rob. He says, "It's me, longtime listener Rob. Hey,
True
Rob."
dat. Hey.
There are just a couple of things that I wanted to email you about for the episode you did. So as I was listening to the episode for Heaven and Hell, you two mentioned that with the hand going on the fogged up window with Dean and Anna reminded you of the scene in Titanic with Jack and Rose in the car. I looked up the episode on IMDb for some trivia. It says for that scene, the hand slamming onto the fogged car window at the end of Dean and Anna's sex scene is a reference to the film Titanic and the quote unquote forbidden sex between Rose and Jack. I like
Oh,
that.
I like that. Yeah.
Forbidden.
Yeah. Dean and an angel? That's super forbidden.
It totally is.
Could have happened. Anyway.
Julie McNiven, aka Anna, said that they just had to do it. It was too easy an opportunity for a pop culture reference to pass up. Which makes, yeah.
Complete sense.
Makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
A really good one, too. And just easily recognizable. I mean, we kind of briefly talked about it in that episode, but how fucking huge was Titanic? Like, I remember it so well. It was like, this is everybody's lives now.
Yes. Yeah, it was a huge thing. And I feel like the hand on the foggy window kind of became like a trope after that, right? Like,
Totally.
but of people kind of making fun of it or like doing references specifically to it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just funny because yeah, I feel like this came out in a time where we hadn't seen it in a while and it was like bringing it back to that,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, and everybody still remembers. I mean, it's not going away.
Of course.
But yeah, bringing that back.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so good. Thanks, Rob.
Yeah.
Good to know that was intentional. So we got some more from Stacy, and this is a little bit longer email, but girl, you just have such good thoughts about everything, and it's worth talking about this. So she says, "Hey ladies, you got me giggling like a schoolgirl over the last 2 episodes. I know what you did last summer and Heaven and Hell. Good, that's the goal." She says, "Your reactions to both our gorgeous men getting it on with their angel demon girls is making me laugh out loud."
Oh my God.
Yeah. She says, "There are multitudes of angels, hosts of angels. In other words, there is a frickin' huge amount of angels." So for only 4 angels to have actually seen God's face is a huge deal. That's really good to know. I mean, we were confused about it at the time, and I was like, "This, I don't have anything to gauge this against."
Yeah. So we were getting intel that wasn't accurate, obviously. I mean, Google can do that on occasion. But no, that is really good to know.
Yeah, and Google's a scary place for me, guys, because I'm trying to stay spoiler free. So it really helps me when y'all write in about specific things like this because I kind of try to avoid like going into scary territory.
Yes.
So Stacy also says that angels are, quote, celestial waves of light in heaven. So as for being junkless, Dean is actually very correct. Whoa, weird. However, when they take a human host, of course, their human parts don't exactly disappear, so their entire body, including their sex organs, are completely functional. The angels themselves have no gender, just the gender of the host they are currently possessing. This is such good info.
Yeah, it is. And
We were like, oh my God, are they like Ken dolls? It's just the first thing that comes to mind.
Yeah.
She says, in a future episode, there is more than one angel that will be seen in more than one vessel who are of different genders. Pretty damn socially ahead of its time, considering the first time we see this is like season 7-ish, so early 2010s to current. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. That's very kind of like, I wonder if they pulled from like the Native American idea of two-spirit beings.
Huh. Yeah. Like they can inhabit 2 genders or
Right. Well,
or it's not really binary.
No, it is. It's like gay people or transgender people. Like their ideas of sexuality are much more fluid. And so instead of really like labeling like them like that too, and it having be as binary, I think it's like they're considered to be two-spirit. So there are still men who are, you know, like in their sexuality preferences are like married to a woman or something like that, but they're very effeminate. And that's completely
Mm.
accepted because they're two-spirit. So I think that can also apply to like different variations.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not gonna like pretend to be an expert on that because I'm definitely not. But it's just really interesting. And
No, that is really interesting. And that's a beautiful
yeah,
way to see it too.
everything in that culture is beautiful.
Yeah.
And I like regretted being born white when I was little and watched Pocahontas. But that's another story.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So she says, as far as that moment when Dean kisses Anna and Castiel watches with that look on his face, I personally feel like they were trying to convey that Castiel was trying to process and understand human emotions rather than any actual jealousy about the kiss. I feel like Cass seems to be the only angel that is borderline questioning his orders, for sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's starting to genuinely be curious about human understanding and emotions, just like Anna was before she fell. I'm personally also you capitalized fell, and that's really cool.
Yeah, that is interesting. It's like the big fall or
I
something.
like
Yeah.
it. I'm personally not a shipper of the whole Destiel thing, but I do honestly believe that Cass is drawn to Dean as a wonderfully amazing prime example of how humans think, act, and interact with each other. Because for all that Dean claims to not, quote, do chick flick moments, he really does wear his heart on his sleeve. Yeah, he does do
Mm.
chick flick moments. He just doesn't want to
Yeah.
admit it.
He just does them in private.
Yeah. He makes no excuses for his love of family and people he considers family, as well as his insatiable love of all things human sex, food, music, etc., etc. That makes for a perfect scenario for Cass to learn about all of those human emotions. Yeah, he's kind of like
Hmm.
the ultimate study in human indulgences.
No, that's true. Yeah. It's kind of like there was this review that I used to read about the supernatural episodes, and they always expressed that Dean was this individual who was so in touch with like the physical material world, like with everything that he did. So whether it was through these indulgences like sex and food and music, and his material possessions, or it was the fact that he just didn't believe in anything he couldn't see, right? So he didn't believe in God or anything like that. And so he just focused on the physical world. Whereas like Sam, we can kind of see is a little bit more spiritual, right, in the religious sense, but also he's the intellectual. He's always trying to work on gaining more knowledge, which is more of a metaphysical thing rather than a physical thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's really interesting, though, that I could see that Cass sees that in him,
Uh huh.
and
Yeah.
is interested in that
Yeah, and
aspect of
that's a
him.
really good way to look at Dean too, what you were describing. That just makes so much sense for him. It puts him in context. So Stacy also says that on the subject of our brothers finding a bit of release with these ladies, I say it's about frickin' time. I mean, they're early to mid 20s, hot guys with no ties to anything but each other in that car. They should be finding a bit of entertainment occasionally. Though I'm not sure Sam's choice in screwing a demon is really the best idea. But you gotta admit, she's super sexy and cute, and they definitely have instant chemistry, so I definitely get it. But honestly, these guys could walk into any bar, hell, any grocery store, and pick up someone to take home.
Oh my
But our
God.
brothers are softies, and regardless of their rough lives, they still really do want someone who is more than a one night stand. But I'm definitely not objecting to the eye candy we were blessed with in these two episodes.
No,
We're on the
definitely
same
not.
page. Yeah, no, it was fine. That last scene of Heaven and Hell has to be one of my all time favorite scenes by Jensen. How amazing was his portrayal? So frickin' sad. Makes me cry every time. At this point, this is such a. I read this earlier and I was like, oh fuck, that's a good point. At this point, Dean has lived more of his life in hell than he did on Earth. He's only about 29 or 30 in this episode, and he spent 40 years in hell. Fuck.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That when you put it that way, it's like,
Even more tragic than we already imagined it to be.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um That's really upsetting.
Yeah, maybe you should have started off with that point, Stacey. Really depressed now.
Yeah.
No, but thank you. That's very true and good to note. There are so many reasons why that experience is still weighing on Dean. Like, I want to sometimes give him a hard time for kind of moping about it, but also at the same time, like, I don't know that there's anything that's more fucked up that someone could go through in their lifetime.
Yeah.
So he's kind of, he has the right to be upset about that for as long as he wants to, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I don't know that it's because like that we give him a hard time because he's moping about that specifically, but moping about like not being able to talk to Sam or like not talking to him, period.
Yeah.
And it's like you obviously can't hold these emotions in. You need to speak to someone. Um yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I think it's just the Sam Dean dynamic. It's just I don't know. It needs to be it's going downhill for sure. Like it was at a high for a bit and now it's going bad. And
Yeah,
that's the struggle.
for sure.
Um so this next one is from Melissa. She says, well, first off, she says, I'm happy to say that I'm finally caught up on the podcast. Um
Yay!
al- although
Welcome.
she's really bittersweet about it because it means that she instead of binging, she has to wait for the next episode each week. And she says, I know Christine can relate.
I totally can. It's hard to make yourself wait for that.
Yeah. She says, I cannot wait to hear your thoughts in season 4, episode 11, Family Remains. To this day, it is the scariest episode for me. I would never forget watching it for the first time. I was sitting in my dark room with my back against the wall, and I just remember slowly moving away from the wall as the episode continued. It freaked me out. Oh God.
Because it's
Yeah.
fucking freaky. It's like,
Yeah, if you start like hearing little knocks in the
some
the
like
wall or
rustling
something.
in the wall.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Um,
Oh my God.
I know a lot of people in the fandom agree, and I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts. I always thought it was funny that the scariest episode for me wasn't a supernatural creature, but just a human. If it's not your scariest episode yet, what is?
Well, first, I want to like agree that it's interesting that like the scariest creature just ends up being a human, and I assume that's what they were going for, and it's great that they were successful with that because
Yes.
um, that really is like kind of the point, I guess, of what they were trying to do with the Benders. And as y'all know, we didn't love that one. I don't think it like got that point across as successfully as this one. So it
No.
totally worked. Like they fucking freaked us out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really like that aspect as well because I think humans can be like a lot scarier.
Mhm.
Um, I okay, for example, like you've seen Jeepers Creepers,
I
right?
have actually.
Oh, okay, good because
Yeah.
it's amazing. But
That's like the only time I'm actually able to say yes.
but I always stop it before we find out that like this
Before the
Jeepers
end.
Creepers thing has like wings and stuff. Because I find him scarier when I think he's a human.
Yeah. Mhm.
Like I don't like the monster aspect too much of that story because I think he's terrifying as like this human entity, like
No,
who's just a
I
fucking
agree with
crazy
that.
guy.
I've only seen it once, but I remember like once it took that turn, I was like, oh, this went in a weird direction. Like
Right? In
that's
a
not
direction that you weren't.
feeling.
Mhm.
Yeah, wasn't feeling.
Yeah. So I totally agree that humans can be way scarier. Um to answer her second
Yeah.
question,
Let me think.
this one was kind of freaky, right? It was kind of creepy in different places, like
Yes, like the
because there was an
fucking
eye in the wall or
or she's the part where she's like in the closet throwing the ball back and forth with the kid.
yeah.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ. Like no, it
or
just comes like sailing out of the closet. Oh my God.
or like the girl, she's laying in her bed and you hear like
Yes.
she's like, "Stop, Buster! Stop licking my hand!" And then Buster comes in, and it's like, "Oh
Oh my god.
Martin was licking her head. So yeah,
Oh, and then just the parts at the beginning too, or like every now and then where the girl just like shows up in the shadows, like in the doorway.
yes.
I think,
So
yeah, this might
I
be the scariest
agree.
one. Although I think the only other, but it's like this episode, so I think this episode was still the scariest one for me. But that part in, I can't remember the name of it, the one with Luther.
Oh, yellow fever.
Yes. Where they go to see him in the fucking factory or whatever, and he's
Uh-huh.
standing in the corner.
Yes.
Uh,
Oh my god, because like you don't notice him at first and
no,
then all of a
he just
sudden it's
fucking
like,
blends in with
wait.
the wall, and then there's like, oh my god, there's a man. There's a man in the
Yeah.
corner.
I think it's even more upsetting though because he's turned away like towards the corner. You know what I mean? Like it's that Blair Witch Project moment where it's like at the end
Like, just I
and they
have
go into the
goosebumps
room.
all over my body right now just thinking about it. I'm just like a mess. I can't.
Yeah, because you would freak the fuck out if that
Oh, I
happened
would
to
probably
you.
shit myself. Like scream bloody murder, poop in my pants, and then like try to run away. It would be like really ugly.
Yeah. No, I same. I would run away immediately. I would be Dean in that moment, just like bye.
Yeah.
Oh my
For
god.
sure. Um
So thanks,
so
Melissa.
yeah. Thanks for that. Um so then we heard from Lindsay about sex and violence. And she says, another plot hole occurred to me as I was listening. You guys mentioned, why is the doctor going to the strip club? How did Nick know that her old boyfriend was killed? How did Nick and Dean beat Sam back to the hotel when we just saw him there? So to
Yeah.
those, I add, how on earth did Bobby get there so fast? We know he was home in South Dakota because we saw him cooking in the kitchen when he answered the FBI phone. Aren't the brothers in Iowa or something? Did Castiel teleport him? Did he apparate? Was there a TARDIS involved? These are all really good questions.
hmm
I don't know.
Well, okay. So the first question, I had a problem with that, right? Why is the doctor going to the strip club? And we were just kind of like, maybe she's just an alcoholic. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, she
but yeah,
lost
it
her
didn't.
husband, right?
And it didn't really make sense though why she was going. It was just kind of like something to cop out, you know, like oh, to make her seem like she was the killer. The only thing that I can say about why did Nick know that her old boyfriend was killed is just that he does have, right? Sirens have the ability to read minds. Is that right?
Yes.
So that's what I figure with that one.
Yeah, that's good. I
But
hadn't thought about that. I feel like that's a good assessment.
otherwise, though, yeah, we were fucking pissed that Dean and Nick beat Sam back to the hotel. So, well, Sam was in the hotel, and then he like
Left?
left.
Question mark?
Where did he go? He went to the ice
That's what I
machine,
was gonna
or
say. I went to go get ice and
yeah, I'm not really sure. So, okay. They were in Bedford, Iowa, and I can see here that just from general South Dakota to Iowa, it takes 6 hours and 46 minutes.
okay. That's not that bad.
It's not too bad, but at the same time it's like he cuz Dean had called him or left him a voicemail and he was like,
So yeah,
"Oh,
it
Sam."
would have had to have been from the time that Dean called him and said, I think it's got Sam, probably, right?
Right.
Because before that, he's like, yeah, they're fine. I'm just going to answer the FBI phone, and those edges are going off to do their thing.
Right. And actually, I looked up. So, Bobby's in Falls.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to drop the S on that because I dropped the X on the Sioux.
Sioux Falls.
This is in France. And then they were in Bedford, Iowa. So actually, that is only 4 hours and 18 minutes. So it's a little bit shorter.
Okay, so about 4 hours. Let me think about. So Dean called Bobby. I mean, I guess Potentially, the evening would have really had to drag out for Bobby to get there in time. Yeah, it's close.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't, it's not too yeah, it doesn't make too much sense. But Bobby must have some powers that he's hiding from us.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time.
Mm-mm. Wait.
Just because he's a badass and we're always like, oh my God, Bobby can do that. Bobby speaks Japanese.
Okay. Okay, yeah.
What
I
the?
was like, what? Can he fly? What did he learn that he could do? Oh my God.
No, he's just a general, surprising badass.
He is.
um, so we also just wanted to mention that we heard from some of y'all that you really enjoyed our episode with the guys from Monster of the Week. And that's really great. Thank you so much for that feedback. We really enjoyed it. It was fun. We should do it again.
Yeah, we've also been hearing from our Twitter and stuff that people really enjoyed Alana King on the episode. So that was really great as well.
It was. That was a lot of fun.
It was. Oh, and I did have one last thing that I wanted to mention. So, you know how we were talking about the breaking the magician's code, that show on Netflix that shows you like how magicians do their tricks or whatever?
Yes.
So I actually, on my Facebook, I actually just got one of those like memories that popped up from June 15th, 2016. And it says that these were my and my husband's thoughts watching Breaking the Magician's Code. So, 1, those outfits. 2, the 90s are alive in my TV. And then it just gets like madder and madder. 3, these aren't even tricks. They're lies. 4, my childlike wonder has been destroyed. And the last one, 5, this show is totally misogynistic. Right after the line, quote, that trick gives a whole new meaning to shut your trap.
What the fuck is that? Okay, well, the 90s are alive, I guess. We like to forget that that kind of shit was more socially acceptable in the 90s.
Yeah, and I remember that because it was some like trap door that, you know, the assistant, this pretty girl, had to like get into. And so it's like,
that's
what?
much worse. Yeah, that's terrible.
Why would he say that?
Because he's a dude.
Yeah. Overturn the patriarchy.
Guys, don't ever tell us to shut up or smile or do anything.
Yeah. No.
Just
I know how to do stuff.
do stuff. I could do things if I want. Yeah, you said you haven't had coffee, right? It's a little.
I haven't. I might run to Starbucks.
That sounds great. We're on other sides of the city, but if you could bring me Starbucks, that'd really be great.
I'll send it through a TARDIS.
Thanks. Just apparate it over.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for sending in your emails and all of your responses to our responses to the episodes. But you can send those over to highwaytohellpodcast@gmail.com. Please do. We enjoyed doing the Mailbag Minisodes, and we look forward to hearing more of your thoughts. Also, you can leave us a voicemail at 908-516-HELL, 908-516-4355. Yeah, those are kind of the preferable methods of like giving us feedback, because sometimes like through Twitter I just forget and stuff.
Yeah, and Twitter's cool for like we have some followers who kind of live tweet when they're listening, and so we can respond to their thoughts at that time. And I feel like it's better for that. But if you really want to, you know, like send in some thoughts and like get our responses and maybe you know, have us read whatever you have on a minisode, this is definitely preferred.
Yes.
Email and phone. Or like, you know, like we've had people send in videos and stuff before too. Like however you want to do it. That's just easier for us to like notice and save. that's best.
Uh-huh. And we hope to have seen some of you at the convention. I
Yeah,
don't
let us
know.
know if any of you are going to be there.
Well, this is coming out after the convention.
Oh, yeah, just kidding. Hey, well, hopefully we saw you there.
Exactly.
It was really great seeing all of you.
It was really great meeting. Insert name, insert name, insert name.
Blank your name here. Yeah. Here's
Oh
a
my
picture of
gosh.
us together. Put your face here.
Yeah. All right. Well, until next time, we'll see you on the highway to hell.
Bye.
Bye.